Hey, what's up, everybody? I really don't. I'm not in the mood for making a video today, but I know I got to. This is just practice for me, just talking in general and everything like that. But what I want to talk about today is why we struggle with loneliness, right? I think this is something that everybody deals with, at some point in their lives, right? Me, for example, I recently just graduated college, right? And now I'm living at a place away from my college and my friends, right? That I usually hang out with. Because if I'm in college, then, I'm either dormed up or I'm in the presence of, everybody that's near me, everybody that I hang around with, right? My friends, you know what I'm saying? Or girlfriend, whoever, right? People you just naturally just always hang out with, right? But when it comes to, after, graduation, and this is just, given like my perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like you could still be in college and still struggle with loneliness for sure, 100%, right? But I'm just giving you my specific example right now so you can get like a clear picture of it, right? But yeah, now I've graduated college, out of school, away from, the college and all my friends, right? And even the friends that have graduated with me, you know what I'm saying? They're living their own lives now, they, working jobs, chasing their dreams, whatever the case may be. I say that a lot. But yeah, when you get to that point in your life, I feel like it's natural to come to a point of like, damn, I can't really hang out with the people that I want to hang out with, right? I can't have fun like I used to, right? With my friends, right? I remember back in June, right? June of 2025, whenever you're watching this video, right? There was a job that I was going to start working at, right? And a couple of weeks before that, there was like a short period of time between, graduation and that job starting where I had a lot of people, right, to hang out with, right? Because I was just killing time, right? I was just killing time because I knew I was going to start a job by then, right? But come to the time when I actually start working, I was like, damn, I don't want to start working, bro. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew that once I start working, I'm not going to see my people as consistently, my partners, everybody like that, right? And so I was like, damn, bro, I don't want to do this, bro. I want this time to, last forever, right? That's how a lot of us feel, right? But that's just not the reality of it, right? You gotta live your own life, right? But yeah, I was initially I was like scared. I was like, damn, bro, I can't have fun. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing I could do about it really at the time, right? So, what did I do? I just started working, right? And then, I enjoyed my work, right? And so I started to adopt a new routine, right? Getting used to, going to work, coming back, doing this, that, and the third afterwards, whatever, all right, just living a new lifestyle, right? And just not seeing friends as much as possible, right? And this gave me like a lot of time to like reflect on myself, right? And it kind of forced me to find out what I enjoy, right? What I enjoy in life, right? And over time, I just started to not really even care, about the things that I used to care about, right? Like hanging out with, and well, not to say that, I don't care about hanging out with people anymore, you feel me? But now I'm in a spot where I'm kind of at peace with myself, right? And my situation, right? Like, when you're, I don't long to hang out with people, right? Because I feel like when you long to hang out with people, or when you long for something, you feel like you need something in order to fill that void of loneliness that you have, right? And you want to get rid of it. You can't, I realize that you can't achieve those things with external desires. You know what I mean? You can't fix loneliness with hanging out with people. You can't fix loneliness with doing things that are fun, whether it be your hobby or anything like that, right? Peace comes from within, right? You have to be happy with yourself, being content with yourself and your identity of who you are, right? You have to be your own entertainment. You have to be your own peace. I don't rely on other people for entertainment because I am my own entertainment. I don't rely on other people for peace because I am my own peace, right? I am my own validation because, oh no, I don't need validation from other people because I am my own validation, right? Now, once you start to understand it, you start to have a sense of, self-worth and, self-realization about who you are, and once you have that, once you lock that in, bro, it's a different world. Like, I love the fact that I'm not seeing my friends as much as possible. And not to say that I don't love them. I love all the friends that I have, right? But especially too, I like going on long periods of time of not seeing my friends, because then once I do see them, we have a lot to catch up on, right? I want to know, what they've been up to, what things they have accomplished, what they haven't accomplished, and talk to them about how they can get better in all those aspects, right? And so, just naturally, people, we deal with loneliness because you're looking to fill a void within you, right? Through something else, through something external. But something external is never promised to you. You're never gonna have something that's external forever, right? None of that is all promised. Like friends, for example. Of course, I'm not saying don't trust your friends, because I definitely trust my friends, right? But you never know what's gonna happen. What are you gonna do when your friends die? You're just gonna be lonely and sad forever, right? I'll be sad that my friends pass, but that's not gonna determine my everlasting peace or happiness, right? What does it mean to be in peace? It means to not need anything, right? To be content, to be at joy with your own self. Because I'm telling you, all you have in this life, bro, is your consciousness. That's the only thing that's promised to you, right? So utilize that, bro. Use it so that you can have the reality that you want, so that you can live the life that you want, right? And I do want to hang out with with my friends. It's not like I don't miss my friends. I do, but I don't dwell on it because I know that I'll see them eventually, and I know that my relationship with them hasn't changed at all, right? So why should I be worried? What is there to worry about? You know what I'm saying? Stop worrying about, oh, I wish I could hang out with this person, I just haven't been myself lately. That's the problem. You haven't been yourself, right? Who is yourself anyway? Ask yourself that too, But this is kind of a random video, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Right. But yeah, right now, recently I haven't been hanging out with friends at all, and when I do, it's really fun and I love it, right? But because I know who I am and I love myself so much, it doesn't matter when I see when I see my friends or that I'm not seeing my friends, because my happiness or my peace isn't dependent upon, external desires or external things in life, you know? Like, if I'm sad, let's say you have a favorite food, right? Something you like to treat yourself with, right? A lot of people that quote unquote stress eat, right? They don't, they continue to stress eat because there's no end to it, right? Because they're stressed, they want to eat the things that they want to eat, right? To kind of reward themselves, right? But what does that do? It's never fulfilling, right? It's not fulfilling enough. It's not eternal. It's not forever. And that's why they continue to eat and eat and eat, because it doesn't actually make them happier. It makes them feel good maybe momentarily, right? When they actually eat the food. And so what happens? You keep eating and eating and eating, and one day you're just fat and you're wondering why. Oh, it's because of the stress. That's why. Right? You're putting your blame upon external things when really it's your mind that's, not doing the job for you. Right? It's your mindset. It's the way you think about things. Right? Because you're playing victim and you're putting the blame on this external circumstance that you believe that you can't change. It's causing you a lot of stress, and you think that that's just part of life and that's how you operate, and so you act upon those things, and then look where you go. It's usually never ideal, right? That's just what happens to people. But I'm just telling you, I'm here to tell you, bro, that you can fix it with this easily if you really just shift in your mindset, right? Just shift, internally, and just understand that all you need is yourself, and to love yourself so much that you don't need anything from life, because you deserve everything, right? And when you believe you deserve everything, the world will give it to you, So, yeah, that was kind of like my mini rant about, why people are lonely, why we deal with loneliness, right? I'm telling you, you can fix it. You might think it's hard, but you only think it's hard because you believe that it's hard. You believe that, loneliness is something that's very normal, something that everybody goes through, something that, or not even everybody, something that you go through and you think is normal, right? Because you think it's normal, that's why you're dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't believe that loneliness is normal, if you believe that you deserve all the love and praise from all your friends in the world, then you'll get it, bro. You'll get it. It's just that simple, bro. It's not that hard. I'm like, oh, people don't like me. Well, people don't like you because you believe that they don't like you, right? If you believe that everybody should love you and you are loved, then you will be loved, right? You're just creating that reality within your mind, and people are just so used to and accustomed to creating a reality that's supposed to be so hard and so miserable for them, right? And so it just continues to propel, and everything is a snowball effect. It just, the feelings that you have get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that just continues, and that just becomes your reality. That's why your life is the way that it is right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I hope that made sense. I hope that helps, right? And I'm here to tell you that as long as you tell yourself that you deserve everything in the world, right, and you start to hold that mindset, bro, loneliness will never ever be a problem in your life, because you'll be so fulfilled with yourself, right? But that's it for today's video, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. Peace.